You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
Welcome to From Beneath the Hollywood Sign. If you love old movies, Hollywood history, or the golden age of filmmaking, you've come to the right place. This is the podcast that talks about amazing stories of Tinseltown from another era and fascinating conversations with writer-producer Steve Cubine and actress-writer Nan McNamara.
So, Steve, did Ava Gardner and Howard Hughes have a good relationship?
Well, they did until he dislocated her jaw.
What?
Well, don't worry. She hit him back with an ashtray.
From Beneath the Hollywood Sign is the gin joint for you.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello, and welcome to Triviality, the show where we play the most dangerous game, Triviality. My name is Ken, and I'm here in the studio with Jeff and Neal. How you doing?
You should throw it to Neal since he's currently eating some butternut
Neal's
squash
eating
soup.
some hot soup in the studio.
doing okay. Eating some butternut squash soup that was an hour late on delivery.
Nice and cold. From that soup restaurant chain, right?
It was.
We all love.
It was from Bill Sykes Soup.
What does that mean?
Well, I ordered it and I said, "Can I have some more?" Because you don't get enough. You always have to ask if you can have some more.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Jeff, how you doing?
Pretty good.
We got Matt out in LA enjoying the sun.
Yep, for the 300th day straight.
Yes, and it's 2 degrees Celsius in Chicago right now. But we're enjoying it regardless. We have a lot of special guests today, and we're very excited to get started. So first, I want to introduce Hannah Ysabelle del Fin. She lives just outside of LA as well, and welcome to the show.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. What do you do? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm a student at Cal State Fullerton. I'm an HCOM major, and other than that, I work for a risk management consulting company. I've been working remote for them for the last year and a half, I think, and I kind of wear a bunch of different hats for them. I started out as an HR intern, and then they moved me to part-time, and then when COVID hit, they had me start producing their online classes, and I started also being an apprentice for their procedure writing group. So
excellent. Well,
just a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like you're a jack of all trades, or as we would say, because you have a Wonder Woman poster behind you of yourself, you're kind of a Wonder Woman.
Of all trades, yeah, why not? Let's go with that.
And you said you wear a lot of hats, and somebody who's wearing a funny hat right now is our special guest host today, Evan Bendiksen.
Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Familiar face to the show, or I should say familiar voice to the show. But any updates this time around?
Yeah, I'm trying to think anything that's happened since the last time I was on the show. I think the biggest thing is my wife and I moved. We used to live in Terrell, Texas, which was further east of Dallas than we live now, which is Mesquite, Texas. None of which means anything to you.
It's my favorite flavor of Texas, though.
I'm even closer to Dallas now. So,
okay.
Is Texas big? I'm not familiar.
Yes, to give you a frame of reference, one time I took a road trip with my friends to San Diego. And on our way back, the halfway point between like relatively central Texas and San Diego was El Paso, Texas. So, yeah, the halfway point to part of Texas was in Texas after an 11-hour drive. So Texas is huge, as certain people would say.
Huge. Exactly. Well, we can't thank you guys enough for joining us today, and also for your Patreon support. You're both Oakland 5 supporters. Thank you very much for that. And you know what? We're so appreciative. We're going to try out a new rules reading. So I want to invite you guys to have a seat real quick for this new rules reading.
Chris Hansen here. Triviality Podcast is 2 rounds of 20 questions worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there's a special swing round by this week's host. In the final round, players wager points they've earned for a chance to become the cream of the crop. Stand by, and I'll be watching.
The cream of the crop! Nobody does it better.
Neal, what do you think about that one?
Well, first of all,
is that a familiar voice?
I just want to say it had nothing to do with me that he was here today. So that's all.
You were just bringing the beer and the condoms. It's got nothing to do with you, right?
If it is a familiar voice, the only thing you can really say to that is, oops.
Yeah, I don't know why we have this rules reading, but you know what? We got it, so we're going to make use of it. So let's break off into teams. I think I'm going to team up with Hannah today. And due to her Wonder Woman poster, I think we're going to be the Wonder Women. I don't know if I'm included, but...
Well, hey, there's no better hero to be, so it's nice to emulate Wonder Woman.
Okay.
And I think since I'm basically done with my butternut squash soup and Jeff was eyeing it next to me, Jeff, how about we be the Butternut Boys?
All right, I'm in on that.
All right.
I'm in the soup. Name's all right.
All right, Matt's going to do scorekeeping and color commentary. So, Evan, take it away whenever you're ready.
So this first round of questions is all kind of generally in the realm of entertainment. So you'll find out what I mean by that momentarily, I hope.
Okay.
So let's kick it off with question 1. What modern video game company started off as a playing card company in 1889 when it was founded?
We can lock in.
Okay, Hannah, do you have any idea on this one? I have a pretty good idea.
No clue.
All right. Well, I'm thinking it's Nintendo. You said 1800s. So it's a Japanese company. There's a Japanese card game. I believe it's called Hanafuda. And I think that is what they made. So Nintendo.
And we are also locking in with Nintendo.
Yeah, great job. Both teams getting points. It is Nintendo.
I always forget that it was a card game first.
I wonder if I got that name right. I'm questioning myself.
You could be inspired by your partner, Hannah, maybe. Maybe that's why.
It could be.
I'm honored either way.
Yeah, we should rename the card game to just Hannah.
All right, let's kick it off for question 2. Speaking of Nintendo, and in honor of my favorite video game series, in what year was the original Legend of Zelda game released in Japan? And I'll give it to you within 3.
I wrote down 3 numbers for Jeff, and he circled the first one.
Do you have any ability to lock down on this one?
I do not know.
Okay. I'm thinking probably late 80s or maybe mid to late 80s. I think we would be safe picking the year of my birth, 87, if you want to do that.
Sure. Yeah, 87's good.
Okay. We'll lock in with 87.
I think Jeff and I were on the same wavelength because this is your birthday month, so happy birthday officially.
Oh, thank you.
On the podcast.
Thank you.
But we also said, what year was Ken born? A lot of good things must have happened that year along with Ken. So we locked in with 1987 as well.
Wow, fantastic job. Both teams getting points. It was 1986.
So no good things happened in 87.
It's funny. I was playing it yesterday on an emulator, and it actually has the year it was made on the title screen when you boot it up. So
with a little C next
just
to
saw
it.
it yesterday.
Yeah.
Does it say that the FBI is watching too, Matt, on your emulator?
Yes.
It doesn't have that very memorable Epona's song or no, it's Zelda's Lullaby on the opening screen. I think of Ocarina, and the Epona's galloping hoof steps.
It could be. Ocarina is the one I haven't played.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, I know.
Ocarina is actually my favorite one. I have Zelda's Lullaby tattooed on my arm even, so.
Very nice. C left, C up, C right.
Yes. I had to look at my arm. Yes.
Nerds.
Yep. All right. Well, on that note, let's go ahead to question 3.
All right. Sounds good. Branching off into a different company, Miles Prower is a Foxy video game character better known by what nickname?
I like it.
Okay. Jeff and I will lock in.
Okay. These guys seem pretty confident. How about you?
There's something in my head that wants to come out, but it's a little shy, so it won't come out yet. But
okay.
Do you have any idea?
I think Star Fox could be an option here, but I'm like 99% sure it's Tails from Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You can go with that.
All right. We're going to say Tails from Sonic the Hedgehog.
I didn't even think of Tails. That's a great answer. We went with the
red herring.
The red herring, yeah, the foxy red herring. We went Star Fox.
Yeah, only one team getting points. It is Tails from Sonic the Hedgehog.
Hey.
The joke being there that Miles Prower is miles per hour, so
Right,
he's
yeah.
fast.
Looking forward to the Sonic sequel with Tails in it too.
Oh yeah, spoilers.
Nice little Easter egg at the end.
It was a nice Easter egg. I'm curious who they're going to get to voice it. I hope it is Jenny Slate, who played John Ralphio's sister on Parks and Rec. And then it could be, yeah,
that would be great. It would be great.
I'm going to have to apologize to Matt in advance for this one for having to keep score on this question. I wrote it without knowing that someone else was going to have to score it, so I apologize for that. For 2 points apiece, name the 4 Ninja Turtles and their rodent martial arts master. For 1 bonus point apiece, name the color associated with each of the Ninja Turtles.
Great. Okay, Jeff and I can lock in over here.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I was
Ask this question to 35-year-old guys. Come on.
I was a big
childhood.
Yeah, I was a big Turtles fan, so I feel pretty confident here, Hannah. Did you watch the Turtles at all?
Just a little bit when I was younger, so I have very minimal knowledge on this.
I used to make really, really terrible, whatever the thing that goes over their eyes is, out of like construction paper.
Oh yeah, we all did that. Even as an adult, I used to work in a factory, and I had like these 4 printing machines. So I wrapped different color ribbon around each one of them, and I gave them names. So those names were as follows: orange for Michelangelo, red for Raphael, blue for Leonardo, purple for Donatello, and then Master Splinter.
Yeah, we have the same, but we'll just say them because we have George, John, Paul. No, I'm just kidding. We have orange for Michelangelo, red for Raphael, blue for Leonardo, purple for Donatello, and Master Splinter.
All right, both teams getting full points. Those were all correct, with my personal favorite being Donatello.
Oh, me too.
I was a Leonardo guy. I like machines and blue, so.
Ooh, I'm Michelangelo.
You are such a Leonardo, and you're wearing blue right now.
I always wear blue.
Matt, you're probably a Bebop and Rocksteady, probably, I would think.
Yeah, 100%.
Or a Casey Jones.
And Hannah, just for good measure, favorite turtle?
Michelangelo.
Yeah, she knows what's up.
Yeah.
Party dude.
Moving on to question 5. What is the original name of the Monopoly Man?
And does he have a monocle?
I have a guess, Neil. We can lock in.
Okay.
Now, I recently shaved my beard off, and I had a Monopoly Man mustache for approximately 30 hours.
You should have kept it.
I don't think so.
You're not in enough of a hardcore band. I'm sorry.
I took a couple pictures, but
just for an example, Ken's mustache, he either looked like the guy in the old cards who has his arms up in fisticuffs, or the sideshow guy who lifts a really heavy amount of weights.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I can't fight or lift weights.
But the curl
of the mustache would make you think that I was strong.
That you can nail.
Yeah. So what do you think on this one, Hannah?
I heard this not too long ago, and I think it's something about money, obviously. So I'm gonna say
penny bags.
Yeah, penny bags. I think that's
rich
the one.
Uncle Pennybags. I think.
Yeah.
He's an uncle, right? All right, we're gonna say rich Uncle Pennybags, though he did say the original name, so I'm kind of wondering, but that's the best we got.
That's the one we've heard it by. Rich Uncle Pennybags.
Yeah, that's what I have as well. Both teams getting points. Rich Uncle Pennybags.
I was no help on that one. All I was thinking of was Jim Carrey from When Nature Calls going, there goes the Monopoly guy.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
All right, let's go to question 6. Who is the only character mentioned in the instructions of the original board game Clue who is not a playable character?
We can lock in.
Okay, quick lock in from these guys. I did not really grow up playing Clue. Have you ever played it?
Never ever played Clue, no.
So here's my thought. All the characters I think you can play as, except for the corpse that you're trying to solve the murder of. I think his name is the same as Jeff's nickname, Mr. Body.
Okay.
That's if he was a character on Sex and the City. Mr. Body.
Mr. Body. So, Jeff, you knew this one pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, it doesn't hurt that your girlfriend Colleen just put on an excellent performance of this at the local high school, where she pretty much ran the whole production for the play Clue, which was really good, and I enjoyed it a lot.
Oh, thank you. We'll put it in the show notes. It's on YouTube now for everyone.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So, Angie and I she watched both performances. The kids were really good. But anyways, it's Mr. Body, I think.
Yeah, both teams getting points. It is Mr. Body.
Now, has anybody ever played 13 Dead End Drive?
Yes.
I've tried to set it up before, but
that
I don't
game
think I ever got to
so
play
heinously
it. Yeah.
complicated to set up.
It's just another mystery game, but it has like traps like Mousetrap, but it's impossible to get to actually play.
But the thing is, like Mousetrap, you set it up as you go, like you're building upon it. 13 Dead End Drive has like a 45-minute setup before you can play, and by then you're like, screw this. I
did not have the patience as a child. Nor do I have patience to wait for question 7.
Good segue.
Thanks,
Well, then I will give it to you immediately.
That's
like
what
question
that's what she said. Sorry. No. I just can't help myself. That's also what she said. All right, go ahead.
I started saying that, and I was like, yeah, I'm not getting away with that one. All right. In what month of the year were all of the first 6 Star Wars movies released in theaters? And when I say first 6, what I specifically mean is episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah. So when I was in college, there was a kid who lived on another floor, and I remember he came over to our floor, and everyone was like cheering him and like, "Oh, this guy's a big deal!" And he's an actor from the drama school who got into a movie, and it was a movie about Star Wars, and the title was the release date of the original Star Wars. It was about kids who had waited in line to get into the movie. And I remember him being kind of mean and full of himself. And I don't think that movie actually came out for like another 10 years. So, it was probably because of his karma. But I can't remember the name of
the Force was not strong with that one. If you feel strongly, go for it.
We'll go with your answer because I can't come up with the title of that movie. So we're locked in.
Okay. So I am not old enough for the first 3 Star Wars that came out. So I don't really remember when they came out.
But where were you in 1999, Ken?
I saw that movie in Florida on summer vacation.
Okay.
That's for sure. Episode 1. So I think it was a summer release. Were they smart enough to release it in May for May the 4th? I don't know. But I would guess May or June.
I say May.
May? Okay. We'll say May. It's going to be May.
There you go. I saw the third one, Revenge of the Sith, in a theater in London when I was living there at the Electric Theater, which is pretty exciting. So your answer actually makes sense, which is also May. So that's what we went with.
Yeah, both teams getting points. It is May.
Nice.
Rest in peace, David Prowse just passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The original Vader. Darth Vader.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, so let's move right along to question 8. What is on the license plate on the DeLorean in Back to the Future?
Neal and I can lock in.
It's like out of time, maybe?
Paul
It's
and
like
Oates.
out of time or just in time or something like that. I think it's out of time.
Back in
Could it be back in time? I don't think it is.
I like Out of Time.
Back in time? That was the Huey Lewis song like Jeff was singing.
All right, that's your locked in answer?
Out of time.
Okay, we're going to go with Outa Time. OUTA time.
Well, since I'm a benevolent host, I'm going to use the power of love and give both teams points on that one.
Nice. I actually had the license plate.
Really?
My uncle was a huge Back to the Future guy. No, but like a replica one. And he had all 3 like full frame movie posters from the video store he worked at in the 80s. And so I had a plate of it. So
still, I really think you should change your vanity plate because right now your ass man plate is not looking too good. Very inappropriate, Jeff.
So that's why everyone honks when I'm in your driver's seat or your passenger seat?
That's not real, guys. Don't worry. Jeff's a good guy. I was waiting for this parking spot the other day, and the person started their car and just would not pull out of the spot. And I looked at the plate, and it said Sting.
Well, he only pulls out when he wants to. The car.
Such an early 2000s joke that we just keep using. All right.
I think that's because none of us have matured past 12 years old.
No, I don't think so. All right, go ahead, Evan, whenever you're ready.
Question 9. 10 Pixar movies have won Best Animated Feature at the Oscars. For 2 points apiece, name up to 5 of them.
All right. Jeff and I went through some titles, and Jeff will read them off.
We went with Up, Toy Story 2, The Incredibles, Frozen, and Coco.
Okay, and after a little conversation with Hannah, we are going to go with Toy Story 3, Up, Inside Out, Toy Story 2, and Finding Nemo.
Okay. By my count, I believe Team Butternut Boys is getting 6 points, and Team Wonder Woman is getting 8. So to list out all of the 10 movies that have won Best Animated Feature in order, they are Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, Ratatouille, WALL-E, Up, Toy Story 3, Brave, Inside Out, Coco, and Toy Story 4. Yeah, Toy Story 1 and 2 both came out before the category existed, I
forgot
believe.
there were 4 Toy Stories.
Me too.
I thought 3 was the last
Have you
one,
guys
and I've
seen
seen
the-
them.
You were so
Have you
mad at
seen the
Forky.
Ratatouille
You were
musical?
like, doesn't exist.
I've even seen them.
What did you say, Matt?
Have you guys seen the Ratatouille musical on TikTok that they're creating individually? A bunch of different people
Not
making
yet.
songs, and it's very good. I would
It's a
recommend
masterpiece.
looking it up. Yeah, like people have designed like the stage, and they're like putting it together, just different people adding to it. It's
Wow,
really cool.
Crazy.
Question number 10, obligatory sports question. I recently learned that the Chicago Cubs, which is my favorite baseball team, wasn't always called the Chicago Cubs. For 5 points apiece, name any 2 of the previous 3 names that the Cubbies went by.
I cannot remember this.
I have no idea. So do you want to say the Blue Sox and the Red Stars, just as a wild guess?
Yep, we can go with that.
Okay.
You know what? I know the Bears used to be the Chicago. Well, they were the Staleys, and they were the Cardinals, and the Cardinals went to, I think, St. Louis and then to Arizona. But what if we just picked some of the teams that are the Cubs' rivals, and maybe they had that name, like the Reds and the Cardinals? Sure. Okay.
Yeah, so looks like no teams getting points on this one. They were the Chicago White Stockings from 1876 to 1889, the Chicago Colts from 1890 to 1897, and the Chicago Orphans from 1898 to 1902 before finally becoming the Cubbies in 1903.
Names that strike fear into the opponents: the White Stockings and the Orphans.
Well, their best pitcher had a curly red hairdo. So,
and after the games, they would hold up their bowls and ask for a little bit more.
More points, please.
I like how your Sir May Have Another was Dutch Boy.
Dipped into Dutch Boy a little bit. All right, Matt, let's get a score update after round 1.
Okay, so after the first round, Butternut Buddies or Boys or whatever they are have 80 points, and the Wonder Women a little bit ahead with 92.
Okay, Evan, let's go ahead with the swing round.
Yeah, so I've entitled this swing round. Wait, they didn't say that, did they? So the basic idea is that each one of these questions, I'm going to give you a multiple choice options from lyrics from a song, and you're going to have to tell me which one of the answers was not a lyric in the song in question.
Okay.
All right, so question 1. Which one of these things is not one of the 7 things from 7 Things by Miley Cyrus? You're mean, you're vain, you're insecure, you make me cry. Question 2. Which of these is not an age mentioned in the song 7 Years by Lucas Graham? 11, 20, 40, or 60? Question 3. Which of the following is not one of the women mentioned in the song Mambo No. 5 by Lou Bega? Sandra, Sarah, Erica, and Mary.
I would just like it to be known that Angie and I listened to this last night.
Oh, no.
I don't even know why.
You make love to Mambo No. 5?
No. I was like, just put on 90s hits. And of course, what comes up on Spotify?
Okay, question number 4. Which of the following is not one of the locations mentioned in the song Kokomo by the Beach Boys? Florida Keys, Aruba, Barbados, or Bahamas? Question 5. Which is not one of the months mentioned in the song I Just Called to Say I Love You by Stevie Wonder? February, April, June, and July. Question 6. Which is not one of the people that Madonna mentions in Vogue? Monroe, Grace Kelly, Louis Vuitton, and DiMaggio. Question 7. Which is not something that Billy Joel mentions in We Didn't Start the Fire? Jimmy Carter, Rockefeller, Communist bloc, Marilyn Monroe. Question 8. Which is not one of my favorite things according to The Sound of Music? Crisp apple strudel, straw-colored horses, sleigh bells, and silver white winters. Question 9. Which is not one of the fish mentioned in Under the Sea in The Little Mermaid? Carp, ray, fluke, or catfish? And finally, question 10. Which is not one of the places mentioned by Johnny Cash in the song I've Been Everywhere, proving that he in fact has not been everywhere? Austin, Reno, Little Rock, or Boston?
Okay, we will discuss these and we'll be right back. All right, during that break, we found out that Lou Bega is actually Jeff's #1 streamed artist for 2020, which is weird, but we're back from the swing round. We have our answers. So let's just get the songs again, and we'll give our answers.
Question 1. Which one of these is not one of the 7 things from 7 Things by Miley Cyrus?
Okay, between Mean, Vain, Insecure, and Makes Me Cry. Hannah, we said?
We said Mean.
All right. We thought maybe a red herring was Carly Simon's Vain, so we said Vain.
One team getting points. It is Mean. Question 2. Which of these is not an age mentioned in the song 7 Years by Lucas Graham?
This song really grinds my gears for some reason because it was on all the time. I don't know if this is correct because I tried to actively not listen to it, but we went to 40.
11, 20, and 40 are like kind of formative years, and then 60, I don't think the guy who wrote it is 60 years old, so we just said 60 as a guess.
Yeah, it looks like Wonder Woman fell for the trap there. He mentions 11, 20, and then skips ahead to 60, so 40 is the correct answer.
Yeah, that's Once I Was 7 years old.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I didn't know it was that song.
Yeah.
Question 3. Which of the following is not one of the women mentioned in the song Mambo No. 5 by Lou Bega?
As Ken mentioned, though I only downloaded Spotify 6 days ago.
Just for this song.
With 200 plays. I know it's Sarah, so.
Yeah, we too said Sarah.
Yeah, both teams getting points. It is Sarah. Question 4. Which of the following is not one of the locations mentioned in the song Kokomo by the Beach Boys?
Yeah, though that there's been no vacations for me this year, Barbados.
We went with Barbados as well.
Yep, both teams getting points. It's Barbados. Which is not one of the months mentioned in the song I Just Called to Say I Love You by Stevie Wonder?
So I was thinking that February was probably in there just because of Valentine's Day. I think I remember something about a rhyme with June and July, so we ended up with April.
Yeah, I was in a very similar place with Hannah. I know that he sings something like on New Year's Day. So I tried to rhyme everything based off of that. So we went April.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, neither team getting points. The trick there is the correct answer is February. He does not mention February in the song.
Too cold.
It's probably why he called to say I love you because he forgot to on Valentine's Day.
Now he's in the doghouse.
All right. Question 6. Which is not one of the people that Madonna mentions in Vogue?
So we got a couple fashion icons and then a baseball player, and we think that's a mislead for Billy Joel. So we said Joe DiMaggio.
I believe she does say DiMaggio. Or now I'm questioning myself, but I know she says Monroe for Marilyn, Grace Kelly. I don't know if she says Louis Vuitton, so that's what we went with.
But nobody's getting points. It is Louis Vuitton that she does not mention. Question 7. Which is not something that Billy Joel says in We Didn't Start the Fire?
We went with Rockefeller on this one. This was hard, though.
Okay, so we knew Communist Bloc, and we knew the last one. So it's a toss-up for Jimmy Carter or Rockefeller for us. And then in Parks and Recreation, there's a scene where Ron's loudly playing his saxophone, and Leslie goes, Jimmy Carter was a guy. So we think it's Rockefeller, based totally on our TV knowledge and nothing else.
Neither team getting points. It is Jimmy Carter that he does not mention.
No way.
Poor Jimmy Carter. Just a nice guy. Gets left out.
Question 8. Which is not one of my favorite things according to The Sound of Music?
Hannah?
So I actually realized what Evan did here because I think the choice that he gave us is straw-colored ponies or something like that.
Straw-colored horses.
Straw-colored horses. So the lyric goes cream-colored ponies, and then crisp apple strudels, doorbells and sleigh bells, and schnitzel with noodles. And then she eventually goes into silver wet winters. So the answer is the second one, straw-colored horses.
Yeah, Jeff and I, we had a tag team named Cream Colored Ponies, so we knew it was straw-covered horses.
Yeah, both teams getting points. That was the trick that I tried to do there, so good job. And shout out to my dad for coming up with that one. All I could come up with was crap-colored horses, and he said that wasn't nice enough. So
This is not one of my favorite things, to be honest.
Question 9. Which is not one of the fish mentioned in Under the Sea in The Little Mermaid?
Yeah, this was cause for concern this time. We eventually went with catfish, but honestly, all the fish were in play.
Yeah, we didn't think Neve Schulman was in The Little Mermaid, so we went catfish.
Both teams getting points. It is catfish.
Thank you for talking me out of that one, Hannah.
We just did that because we think catfish are freshwater. That was our
Yeah, that was really our only argument.
I think carp are freshwater.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. And finally, question 10. Which is not one of the places mentioned by Johnny Cash in the song I've Been Everywhere?
So we know Johnny Cash has been to Reno because he shot a man there just to watch him die. So we're thinking he probably didn't want to return to Reno to get arrested. So we said Reno.
We think Reno, Little Rock, Austin are all in the song, but we couldn't place Boston.
I mean, Austin rhymes with Boston.
So it could be either.
Neither team getting points. It is Austin.
All right, so after the swing round, Butternut Buds picked up 30 points, getting them to 110, and the Wonder Women picking up 25 points, end up at 117.
Yeah, and right before we get to the second round, just wanted to remind everyone, if you'd like to hang out with Evan and Hannah over at The Crop on Facebook or our new Discord server, where they are both pretty active over there as well, you can find the link to that in the show notes or also on Patreon if you're a Patreon subscriber. And speaking of Patreon, both of our contestants and guests are Patreon supporters. You can join them at patreon.com/Triviality Podcast for some great perks like extra audio content.
Round number 2 is entitled Back to School.
Sorry, Billy Madison.
We know. I know where you went.
Question 1. Abraham Lincoln gave the Gettysburg Address in 1863, but what does 7 years ago add up to?
We can lock in.
Ooh.
Okay, so we think a score is 20 years, so 7 years is 87.
But how many fortnights is it? Yeah, we too agree with your math. We said 87.
52 times 87 divided by 2.
Yeah, both teams getting points. It is 87 years because he is referencing 1776. Question 2. Which amendment to the Constitution limits the number of terms of a president?
Do you know?
I don't.
It was
no,
a
I don't
little
know this
bit.
one.
It was just after Roosevelt, so I think it would be. It's got to be after the 21st Amendment, so I would say 23rd, as a guess.
Okay, 23rd works.
I had the same thought. I was telling Jeff that, Prohibition, 21st Amendment, alcohol.
Repeals it, yep.
And that was what, the late 20s?
That was the early 30s.
Right after the Roaring 20s. So Roosevelt, president.
Yeah, and this would have happened during the Eisenhower administration in the mid-50s.
Okay, so are you thinking like 24, 5, or 6 maybe?
25 was the first thing that popped into mind for some reason.
Okay, I'm good with that.
We will lock in 25th Amendment.
And we had 23rd.
Neither team getting points. It is the 22nd Amendment.
Ooh. So everyone got back to drinking, and then let's make sure the president doesn't stay in office.
Yeah, our logic was sound, but couldn't lock in the guess properly.
Yeah.
Question number 3. Speaking of the 22nd Amendment, based on the verbiage of it, what is the longest someone could serve as president to the nearest year?
We'll lock in.
So I wonder if a vice president could take over for that president and then for a dead president and then run twice more.
Yeah.
So it's probably something like a president can't win more than 2 elections or something. So I
Right.
guess that would make 12 be the maximum. All right, so that's what we'll say 12.
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. You're saying that if the president dies, the vice president takes over his term plus his own 8 terms or 8 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you're onto something, but I think the math is a little different. I think they're not allowed to exceed half of the original first term, so I believe it's 10.
Butternut Buddies getting points. It is 10.
Good job,
It specifically says that when the vice president takes over, or rather, excuse me, when the person assumes the presidency, if they have more than 2 years of a term left, they can only run for one more term. So if they have just less than 2 years, they could run for 2 more terms, bringing the total up to just about 10 years. All right. Question number 4. Is the number 0 even, odd, or neither?
Okay, we're going to lock in.
So Jeff just pointed at Evan's name. So they're locking it with even. I think it's neither. What do you think, Hannah?
That's what I was thinking. I think it's neither.
Okay, we'll say neither.
And just to clarify, Butternut buddies, y'all locked in with even?
That is correct.
They locked in with Evan.
Well, that is close enough. I'm going to give it to him. It is even. And even number is specifically defined as a multiple of 2, and 0 times 2 is 0. It is a multiple of 2, so it is even.
Math in all its forms.
Speaking of TikTok, and maybe Hannah knows this if you're on TikTok as well, but one of my favorite new accounts is a guy who gets called out by people to see how tall they are, and he only uses math from the pictures that they take.
Yeah, I just found that account this morning and I've been obsessed. I'm not good at math, so I will watch anyone who's actually really good at it.
Me too. So basically someone will say, how tall am I? And he'll go, well, the circumference of your McDonald's cup means your hands are this long and your chest is this long compared to the table I saw that you have from IKEA. And then he does the math and figures it out. Yeah.
Well, that's basically how forensics works.
Well, if you need to know anything about me personally, the entertainment round, we got almost all of them right. And this round so far, not so good. And this one's about numbers. So that's me to a T. Let's turn it around with question 5.
Yeah, let's hope you have more luck on this one, Ken.
Thank you.
Question 5 is, a Google, as in the number, is defined as a 1 followed by how many zeros? For 2 bonus points, spell it.
Okay.
In spite of losing the spelling bee to fuselage, I was able to spell Google correctly, and Jeff gave me the number, so we're locked in.
Okay. Hannah, I think it's 100 zeros.
Okay.
Does that sound
this
right?
question made no sense to me, so
Okay.
I have nothing.
I don't know the spelling, but I can try, and I think it might be Geogol.
All right. I spelled Google Googol. Jeff agreed. And Jeff, the number?
Yeah, we said it's 10 raised to the 100th power, so that would mean it has 100 zeros.
So a Google is a 1 followed by 100 zeros and is spelled Googol. So Butternut Buddies getting 10 points and the bonus 2, and Wonder Woman picking up the 10 points as well.
Okay. At least it's something. After 5 questions, do you have our scores, Matt?
Yep. So after 5 questions in round 2, the Butternut Boys are up to 152 and the Wonder Women 137. So within range.
Not feeling so wonderful right now. We just lost the lead.
I think
Power up those invisible jets and you guys will be fine. So
I think you're a very strong team, and I think moving forward for the last 5 questions in the final round, my advice to you is to think big and shine bright, because I think you will succeed if you do that.
You know, Wonder Woman has the lasso of truth, but I have the lasso of strangulation, which is just a rope.
All right. Question number 6. What is the difference between velocity and speed?
We can lock in.
You should just make me answer it, and then we'll see if we get the answer right, because it's not going to be right.
All I know is that velocity, I think, is the rate of change.
That's acceleration, isn't it?
I have no idea. That's all I can think of.
I wonder if velocity is the rate of change. Okay, Evan, we're not feeling great about this, but we think that maybe speed takes into account relation with your surroundings, and velocity is total rate of distance change.
So I locked in for our team. Neal, you don't know this, right?
I'm not even here anymore.
Okay, if I told you I was looking for a band name and I said Niall and One
Direction?
Direction is the difference between speed and velocity. Or speed, yeah. So you have to have a vector quality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Speed is a scalar quantity, while velocity is a vector quantity. But in layman's terms, it means velocity includes the direction.
We were almost there, but in a really stupid way.
I love Jeff gets me with a boy band question. I knew immediately.
Question 7. Since everybody loves physics so much, let's get another physics question, right?
Okay.
As we all know, velocity is the derivative of position with respect to time. In addition, acceleration is the derivative of velocity with respect to time. What is the derivative of acceleration with respect to time? I wonder if Steve Martin used this as inspiration.
I think I actually get the clue. That's exciting.
I got it. We can lock in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
With the Steve Martin?
Yeah.
Okay. So we need the rate of acceleration against time. And there's a Steve Martin clue. Steve Martin is the jerk. What else is Steve Martin known for?
All I can think of is Cheaper by the Dozen.
Okay.
With Tom Welling from TV Smallville.
Yeah, Superman.
Wait, he was in that?
Yeah, he was the older brother, yeah.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I think maybe jerk. I haven't heard that as a scientific term, but it could be right. There's a lot of weird stuff. We'll say jerk.
So just for a little background on our team over here, the Butternut Boys, I wrote bowfinger, which is very incorrect, but it sounded like it could be scientific. But Jeff wrote down the right answer, which was
jerk.
Oh, thank God.
That is correct. Both teams getting points. It is jerk.
Excellent.
You know what's funny about that is we've had something tangentially related to it at some point in trivia, and I got it wrong, and you guessed jerk. And I don't know how.
No, not me. It wasn't me.
It was someone.
Someone did.
One of us.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, and so I thought it was you. I'm sorry. Maybe it was Matt. Maybe that's why Matt was like, ooh.
Yeah, probably.
I'm an expert in jerks. That doesn't sound good either.
Matt knows all kinds of jerks.
This is the color commentary I provide. We can move on. Question 8.
All right. Question 8 in computer science. Put these terms in order based on the number of binary digits that they have. And for 2 bonus points apiece, how many binary digits does each term have? So your 3 terms that you have to put in order are nibble, byte, and bit.
I think these are on the menu of the Sybaris. The only reason I said that is Colleen and I were driving around the other day, and the Sybaris was packed with people. And I'm like, come on, it's COVID era. What are you doing?
Where is there even a Sybaris?
I don't know.
You know. You know where it is. Me and Jeff have sat under the waterfall before. Is Sybaris national, or is that
That's
local?
Also a euphemism.
I don't know if it's
Do you
national.
guys know what the Sybaris is? No?
Absolutely no idea.
Nope.
Oh, it's regional.
Oh, it is regional. Well,
It's like a sexy hotel.
yeah, it's like a romance getaway for a night.
Located next to the Lover's Lane. Always.
Yes.
Go hand in hand.
This is all. This is up to you, Jeff. I am lost.
Okay. We think it's a nibble, a bite, and then a bit being the largest.
Hannah, any idea here? This is not my forte.
I just wrote them down in a random order if you want to go with that.
I have some perception. I wrote nibble, bit, bite going upwards, and I think it might be 110, 100, something like that, but I'm really not sure.
I just had it switched where it went bit, nibble, and bite.
Yeah, we could try that.
Okay.
And we'll stick with 110, 100.
That's our strategy when Neal and I have foreplay.
How's that working out for you?
So, to clarify, Wonder Woman locked in with bit, nibble, and bite and said that those were 110 and 100 binary digits?
Yes.
Butternut buddies, did y'all want to take a guess at how many binary digits each one was?
I always thought a bit was 8, so that would make it. I don't even know. I don't know. I can't do the math.
So you're guessing 8 for bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so Wonder Woman said bit, nibble, and bite, and 110 and 100. And Butternut Buddy said nibble, bite, and bit, and 8 for bit. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, so Butternut Buddies will be getting no points. And Wonder Women will be getting 12 points, I believe. The correct order was bit, which is 1 binary digit, then nibble, which is 4, and then bite, which is 8.
Wonderful.
Yay.
So we're crawling ahead a little bit here.
Yeah, great answer there, by the way, Hannah.
Complete guess on my part. It just sounded nice to me
It worked
that
out.
way.
Yeah. Sometimes that's all you need. You just need a little bit of logic, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, question 9, in the category of anatomy, which comes to you from my beautiful wife, Erin, who is a nursing major in college. When triaging an unresponsive patient, what does the acronym CAB or CAB stand for?
Okay, we'll lock in.
All right, I thought triage was what you give your prom date when you take them. But yeah, I'm really not sure on this one. Maybe the C is consciousness.
I thought that A would be something about airways.
Airways.
And I have nothing. Yeah, I have nothing else for
B,
C and
I
B.
thought was breathing, breath. So let's say consciousness, airways, and breath.
Okay. We had I don't even know how to describe this. C was like check for I don't know if they're paying attention. I don't even know how to describe that, but check for
vitals.
Not vitals. I can't think of the word.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
consciousness. Like
sure.
Yeah.
So consciousness also.
Yeah. Basically, like, are you awake? And then they don't move. And you're like, okay, move to A.
Okay, that's C.
So C, and then A, we just put adjust head.
All right, you did not get this right. What's B? Quickly.
Breathe.
Breathe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no points. It is
shocking.
A is airway and B is breathing, but C is circulation.
Oh.
Thank you for that anatomy question. I will be sending Jeff an anatomy picture round later on, but that's our business.
And I'm sure he will check it for circulation and airway and breathing.
He's going to use context clues to figure out the size using math.
That's dark web TikTok right there.
Oh, man.
All right. Finally, question 10. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times is the opening line to what novel?
We can lock in over here.
It was the blurst of times.
It was the blurst of times. Is
Stupid
that
monkeys.
Tale of Two Cities?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think so. Okay, Tale of Two Cities.
I may have screwed us here, Jeff. I wrote down Great Expectations.
I'm pretty sure it's a Tale of Two Cities.
I think it is A Tale of Two Cities. I don't know why immediately I thought of Great Expectations, but I expected the wrong answer.
I would say now we have lowered expectations.
Yeah. So anyway, we locked in with Great Expectations.
All right. So Wonder Woman getting points. It is one of my favorite books of all time. It is A Tale of Two Cities.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I was not paying attention. I'm sorry, Jeff.
All right, then after that round, it got a little bit closer. The Butternut Boys 172, Wonder Woman 169.
Yeah, I apologize again for the weird math. I thought I was going to be
Quite
keeping
all right.
score. I didn't mean to
Oh, no, it's fine.
screw with you
No,
all so
we're
hard.
all
I
just
should
terrible.
be paying attention, but I'm not, so that's my fault.
We're just terrible with math. It's not your fault.
Yeah, so the categories in the final round are Oscars history, computers, video games, the wonderful world of awards, and anatomy.
Okay, all the wagers are in, so let's get the questions.
Question 1 in the category of Oscars history. At the 2020 Oscars, Parasite made history by doing what? Question 2 in the category of computers. Although it is sometimes used in games to mean a computer player, what does the acronym CPU stand for? Question 3 in the category of video games. What point-and-click adventure series developed by LucasArts features mighty pirate Guybrush Threepwood? I wonder what Curious George would take if he was deserted here. Question 4 in the category of Wonderful World of Awards. Walt Disney holds the record for most Oscar wins by an individual. Within 2, how many did he win? I wonder what Grover Cleveland would have thought of him if he had lived long enough to see his works. Question 5 in the category of anatomy. What organ in the body produces insulin?
Okay, the answers are now in, and we are excited to find out how we did. So let's get the questions one more time.
All right, sounds good. Question 1 in the category of Oscars history. At the 2020 Oscars, Parasite made history by doing what?
We wagered 30 points all the way down. Wasn't sure what first he was going for. Initially, we wrote down first film to win foreign language Oscar and Best Picture Oscar, but we just simplified it and said it was the first non-English film to win Best Picture.
Yes, that is what we said as well for 15 points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, both teams getting it right. I was just looking for first foreign language film to win Best Picture. Question 2 in the category of computers. Although it is sometimes used in games to mean a computer player, what does the acronym CPU stand for?
We wagered 0 on this one, and we basically had no idea, so we said computer power unit.
Yeah, we wagered 30 on this one, and I believe it's the central processing unit.
Oh, that makes sense.
Butternut Buddies getting points. It is the central processing unit. Question 3 in video games. What point-and-click adventure series developed by LucasArts features Mighty Pirate Guybrush Threepwood? I wonder what Curious George would take if he was deserted here.
We had a couple ideas of possible additions to the name, but in the end, we kind of just went with Monkey Island.
And for 30, we agree. We said Monkey Island.
Yeah, I was just looking for the name of the whole series. It is Monkey Island. Question 4 in the wonderful world of awards. Walt Disney holds the record for most Oscar wins by an individual. Within 2, how many did he win?
Yeah, so Jeff said that Grover Cleveland was 22 or 24th president?
Yeah, he holds
Both.
the record as being the 22nd and 24th presidencies.
Oh, okay.
So.
And I, for some reason, I was thinking Disney, they have the D23 Expo, which I thought would be the number of Oscars he won, but that wouldn't correspond with Cleveland, so we went with 24.
And since 23 is right between his two presidential numbers, 22 and 24, we went with 23 to get the range.
Yeah, both teams picking up on the hint. It is 22.
And that was for 10 points.
Question 5, in the category of anatomy. What organ in the body produces insulin?
And for our last 10 points, we've been pushing really hard at the theme park for Pirates of the Pancreas, but they just don't like it. So,
yeah, we wagered 30 points on this one. And while Pirates of the Pancreas sounds like an amazing ride, definitely got to have some insulin while you're there, I guess. So we said pancreas.
Both teams getting points. It is pancreas.
And they have beaten us, so I'm going to punch Jeff in the pancreas.
Better than getting punched in the duodenum.
Matt, what are our final scores?
Yeah, so after that final round, betting big really helped out the Butternut Buddies there. Wonder Woman ending up with 234, but a perfect final round brings the Butternut Buddies up to 322, making them today's cream of the crop.
Cream of the crop.
Good job, boys.
Yeah, great game to both of you. Hannah, I hope you know I was playfully referencing the nice poster behind you, Think Big, Shine Bright.
I was, yeah. I knew right away what you were saying.
Good, because I think it's good words to live by. But speaking of words, do you have any final words for us today? Anyone you'd like to shout out?
No, just wanted to thank you guys for having me on, and thank you to Ken for carrying me as much as possible throughout this, especially the two main rounds.
Please.
Yeah, thank you guys again. And as a reminder to everyone else, just keep staying hydrated and use your SPF. Those are my final words.
Great advice.
Very good advice.
Evan, thank you again for hosting. We always appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah, of course. I had a really good time.
Yeah, and hopefully when this pandemic is over, you can come visit us one more time in Chicago.
Yeah, I would love that.
All right, well, that's the show for today. Glad the Butternut Boys could pull out a victory, even though I was on the other team. But for Evan, Hannah, Matt from LA, Jeff, Neal, and myself, that was Triviality.
You're muted, Evan.
Yeah, he's just, his wife's doing something.
Oh, okay.
Girlfriend, wife, sorry.
Wife, yeah.
My wife, yeah.
My wife.
Every dog all at once. She was giving our dogs a chance to go outside.
Yeah.
Tell her we said hi, by the way.
Will do. I'll tell her later. I don't want to scream.
There we go.